Hey guys. All right. Today we're going to do week 21, lesson 2, part 1. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen like usual. Okay, click that. Okay, it's mirrored. Perfect. Oh, whoops. Gotta do that. All right. So for lesson 19, we're going to be working with 1 more, 1 less, 10 more and 10 less, and 100 more and 100 less. So I want to show you guys this in a couple different ways, and we're going to start with using the discs like we've been using. So I'm going to draw myself a disc chart. So you don't have to put the names of the place values because it is redundant, which means that it is said with the discs because the discs already have the values in it. But I like to put it anyways because I think it will help you guys when you get into different place value problems. So just to review, we put the disc in the right section, whatever section we may be. So if I have a hundreds piece, it'll go in the hundreds, and I'll write a 100 in the piece. And just say we have 2 tens, we'll put them there. And then if we have our ones, we'll put them in here as well. Notice how when I went down in my rows, in my columns, I did 5 and then went over because I want it to look like a 10 frame, or if we need to add more. Awesome. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you, what number is this? You don't have to write this in your seesaw right now. This isn't going to go into your seesaw. But what number is this? Well, if there's a 1 in the hundreds, 2 tens, and 7 ones, that number would be 127. Cool. So I'm going to go back up here because now we're going to talk about something else that's interesting. What if I wanted to know, what if I added 10 more? What if I'm going to do a different color for this too. What if I added 10 more? What's this number now? So it was 127. If I add 10 more, what would it be? It would be 137. All right. Okay. What if I added one more 1? Well, if this is 127 and I added one more 1, it would be 128. So one more than 127 is 128. Okay. What if I added 100 more? Well, 100 more than 127 is, well, let's skip count by 100. You can just change this one to the next one up since we're only going by 100. So that would be 227. Good. Now, we have our 127. I'm going to write down a chart and I'm going to have you guys fill this one out for, actually, no, I won't have you do that because I want you to be able to practice before I have you try it. All right. So we had 10 more than 127, but I'm going to use a different number now. I'm actually going to change this to 238. So you're going to figure out 238. And what I'll do is you can use this chart just pause your screen and use the chart. So 10 more than 238 is what? I also want you to figure out what 1 more than 238 is, and 100 more than 238 is. Okay. So let's go ahead and add some chips to help us out. So if I'm trying to find 10 more than 238, I can add a 10 chip here, and let's count it. So the 2 is going to stay the same because we didn't go into hundreds. The 10 is going to change into a 4 because now we have 4 10s. And the 1s will stay 8 because we didn't change them. So 10 more than 238 is 248. All right, perfect. Now, oh, I need to stay with red. Now, how about 1 more than 238? Well, the hundreds are still the same, so it'd be 2. The 10s go back to 3 because we're looking for 1 more instead of 10 more. But the 1s are going to go up by 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 239. And now 100 more. I'm going to have you guys figure out 100 more. So what I want you to do, so you're going to put this in Seesaw. Put in Seesaw. You're going to create this table. And then you're going to write the answer that you come up with. So remember, we have to add a 100 piece. So is that going to go in the 1s, 10s, or hundreds? So you're going to make this table in Seesaw. I would use a piece of paper and take a picture. That would probably be the easiest way to do it. You're going to create, so you're going to create the table, and then I don't even know how that happened. You're going to write the answer. I think I was thinking it doesn't have to be right, but that's funny. Yeah, I used the wrong form of right. Okay, so that's what you're going to do for this Seesaw question. And we're going to talk about a couple more examples when you come back. Oh, wrong one. Okay. Sorry, my notebook is acting weird. There we go. Okay, now we're going to go to our next page. And there's a couple more questions I have. So now that we've seen it with pictures, we're going to try it without pictures. So I'm going to put some questions up here and we'll go over them. So we have the 1 more. We have 10 more. We have 100 more. And now I'll put some numbers in here and we can try to figure them out. So let's put 15 in each of these and then we'll figure it out. So 1 more than 15 is what? 16. 10 more than 15 is what? We can count by this. So go up by 1. That will be 25. And 100 more than 15 is, well, we just have to add a 1 for the 100, which will give us 115. Now, we did more. Let's try less now. So we're going to stick with the 1, 10, and 100. Actually, I'll change the color since we're doing less. Too bright. Okay. Just a nice forest green. So 100 more, or nope, not more, less. 100 less, 10 less, and 100 less. And we're going to use the number 206. And that'll be for all of them. Okay, one less than 206 is, so if I take away one of your candies and you had 206, how many do you have? 205. 10 less than 206. Well, that's a bit harder than I want to go with this. So I'm actually going to change this one to 216. That way we don't have to take away and go into the 100s, because that's not the intention of this part of the work. So 10 less than 216, we would turn this 1, we would take away from that 1 since it's in the tens place, which would give us 206. All right. What about 100 less than 206? Well, just like with the 10, we're going to look at the 100s place value instead. 2 minus 1 is 1, and then we don't change the other ones, which will give us 106. All right, cool. So that's going to be all we go over right now for lesson 2, part 1. Stay on hold for lesson 2, part 2 coming up in a couple seconds. All right, thank you. See you guys in a second. Hey guys, welcome back to week 21, lesson 2, part 2. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open I'm going to share my screen. And do you remember how I changed one of the questions because I was like, oh no, that's not what I want to teach you guys right now because that's not the point of this lesson. Well, now we're going to learn about that for week 21, lesson 2. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to model 1 more 1 and 1 less, 10 more and 10 less, and 100 more and 100 less when changing the hundreds place. So I'm going to start with a number and we're going to discuss what we need to change for certain parts of the number. So we're going to look at the number 503. So we have our 100, our tens, and our ones. I'm going to draw 5 hundreds because our number is 503. And we have no tens because it's 503, 503, 503. And we need 3 ones. Okay, so we have the number 503. What would happen if I took away 1? I just took away 1 chip. What number would we have? We would have 502. What would happen if I took away another chip or disk? I would have 501. What happens if we take away another chip? Now I have 500. Let's take away another chip. Wait, I don't have any. How am I supposed to take away a 1 chip if I don't have a 1 chip? That is the mystery. Well, what we can do is we can take from other place values and we can cross boundaries. So if you remember, these numbers do not have to stay in the place they're at. So you guys see this 100? Why don't we convert this 100 into 10 tens? Because 10 tens equals 100. Awesome. So Now that we took away that 100, let's put a big red X through this 100 because we don't need it anymore. We traded in our 100 chip for 10 chips. Now let's take away that 1. Oh, wait, we can't. Oh man, there's nothing there. How are we supposed to take away if there's nothing there? Well, why don't we take this 10 chip and convert it into 1 chips? How many 1s equal 1 10? 10. So let's draw our 10 frame style. So 5 and 5. And now, after I draw next through this to show we don't have any more, now we can take away one of these 1s. And what are we left with? Well, let's count. 100, 200, 300, 400, 410. Oh, actually, let's draw the 4. All right. Now, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So a 9 in the tens place because there's 9 tens. And finally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 ones. So we're left with 499. That's a little more complicated, but that's okay. Go ahead and rewind the video if you need another support with that, but we're going to do another problem right now. Okay, let's look at 10 less than 503. There we go. Okay, so again, we have our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. So now we're looking for 10 less than 503 instead of 1 less. So how many hundreds do I need? I'll give you a hint. Look at the place value. We need 5. How many tens do we need? 0. We don't have any tens. And how many ones are there? 3. All right, nice. Okay, good stuff. We're getting somewhere. Let's take away a 10 from 503. Wait, we have no tens. What do we need to do? We need to exchange. Exchange a 100 for 10 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Notice they're not all the same shape, but they are all around the same size. All right, now let's put a big red X through that 100 since we used it. All right, now we're taking away 110, right? Okay, let's take that 10 away. Boop, it's gone. Okay, let's count. 100, 200, 300, 400. So we have a 4 here. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. We have a 9 here. 1, 2, 3, and we have a 3. So our answer is 10 less than 503 is 493. All right. Let's look at another one. How about 1 less than 160? 1 less than 160. All right. So we have our 100, our tens, and our ones. So in 160, how many 100s do we have? How many hundreds do we have? We have 1. How many tens do we have? Well, we have 6 because there's a 6 in the tens place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many ones do we have? 0. Okay, let's take away a 1. Oh, wait, we can't. We don't have any ones. What do we need to do? We need to exchange a 10 for how many ones? 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Sweet. All right, remember, we exchanged this chip, so it's gone. Put an X through it because we don't need that chip anymore because we exchanged it. All right. Now it says 1 less than 160, 160. So let's just go ahead and get rid of one of those ones. Now what are we left with? 100. So a 1. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 50, or sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1 less than 160 is 159. All right. Okay. Now what I want to do is I'm going to give you one to try. Okay. So you're going to be responsible for finding 1 less than 20. So I'm going to get this set up for you. I'm going to get the table up for you. So we have our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. So 20 has 2 tens and no hundreds and no ones. So your responsibility is you need to copy this table, exchange a 10 for however many ones, and give me the answer. This will be in your Seesaw book, okay? All right, so go ahead and pause the video while you do that, and then we'll see you in a second. Okay. Well, that will be it for today. Go ahead and put that on Seesaw. You should have 2 things on Seesaw, okay? Make sure you do. You can use a piece of paper if you need to. That's okay. You can record it. That's okay. All right. Good. Well, I hope you guys have a good day. And this is lesson 2, so have a good weekend. Bye.